that the designers have in their mind, comes to fruition. So understanding that design intent and, being able to deliver on that.
Yeah, and design doesn't stop with SD. Design starts with SD. Somebody putting ideas on a paper, but the only time design stops is when when we issue a punch list or a certificate of completion. These guys are out here redesigning stuff in the field all the time to make it look better, function better, and overall deliver a better product. The most important part is the start, right? Before you can follow through. And so, it's start to finish, quality control. We're looking at designs, we're doing design reviews, making sure it's buildable, it's realistic. Then quality control through the construction document process. I'm working with Brad here. He's, detailing stuff, trying to figure out how to do it, plant selections. Brad also runs our irrigation department, looking at that type of stuff, making sure that we're integrated and coordinated internally and externally with other consultants. And then, like you just mentioned, finishing it up in the field, going out, working with the contractors, tagging plant material, looking at what's being installed, dealing with submittals, RFIs, and so that we have an exceptional finished product.
The CA team is involved, even getting construction documents prepared. If there's constructions about how to detail something, how to build something, we get involved, during the documentation phase as well to make sure that what's going to get issued to a contractor is buildable.
The CA department is looking at it with a critical eye, right? And looking for the quality control. Don't look at our plans and assume they're right, because if you do, you may miss something that's a problem. And so they're looking at it with an extremely critical eye to find the problems before they get to the field.
Yeah, I think that's where having people in this role that have actually been out in the field before and been a part of building stuff can catch things in a plan that, okay, that's not going to work well. That's finding out bad ideas before we tell somebody to do them.
Predicting the future,
yeah, I mean,
right?
like the worst feeling is going out to a job site and having a question about why a contractor did something, and you look at the plans and it's because we told them to do that.
Coordination is important, and so we're working with other consultants, to making sure our stuff's coordinated. Because if landscape set says one thing, civil set says another, architectural set says a whole different thing, and then it makes it very difficult for the contractor, and you never know what they're going to install. And so that's up front something we've learned to make sure that stuff's highly coordinated.
We had a lot of struggles with materials selections over the last couple of years due to supply chain issues, availability, and catching things that contractors are trying to submit as alternates that aren't going to pass our standard of for example, slip coefficients for paving around on a pool deck. People try to submit stuff all the time, and that's we're the last line of defense against catching something that could potentially be a safety issue.
We came out of the drought and the recession and then the freeze and then COVID, and we've just had constant impacts to plant material over the years, and so finding good stuff has been difficult.
Yeah.
And that's something that we always want to do is tag all of our trees that are getting out to jobs. We're wanting to see all that plant material submitted in photos before it ever arrives to the job site, to stop those issues before they happen.
Yeah, and I would say even during that submittal review process, if we see something that we haven't given enough information to correctly identify what type of plant we want, catching that there's different forms of certain kinds of trees, trying to understand the intent and making sure that we catch it during that submittal review so that when it shows up to the job site, it fits what we've designed.
It's all the lessons learned. You get out there to a site, first thing I do is just step back, look at it in big picture, and then start zooming in on the details, after you've seen the big picture.